Hi guys, welcome to Know Math. My name is Sir Bench Antonio, and on this video, we will discuss factoring general trinomials. This is intended for high school mathematics, especially for grade 8 students. If you are not yet subscribed on my channel, please hit like and subscribe for more of my videos. Trinomials can be denoted on a general form of ax squared plus bx plus c, that the values of a, b, and c are all real numbers. A can be equal to 1 or greater than 1. So this is what we are going to discuss on this video. How are we going to factor out general trinomials if a is equal to 1 and if a is greater than 1? Let's start with factoring general trinomials where a is equal to 1. So let us observe that we have here four examples that almost the same expression but they are differ on their signs. So I will show you what will be the difference or what are the differences between these or between the factors of these four expressions. So for us to factor this kind of general trinomials where a is equal to 1, so the very important thing that we need to uh, observe are the values of our C and your B. So we're going to find a factors where we will obtain C and B value. Okay, so let's start with the first example. So let us have our cross. Your C value is positive 6 and your this is positive 6 and your B value is positive 5. So in this case, we will find the factors of 6 that when we add, we will obtain 5. So in this case, we have 2 times 3. 2 times 3, 6, and 2 plus 3, 5. So therefore, these are the two factors. 2, positive, and positive 3. And so as we will factor out the first term, x squared, and that is x times x. So these are now the two factors of our first example. Second example, let's have our cross, right? So the values of B and C, the C value is positive 6 and the B value is negative 5. So let us have first the factors of the first term, which is x squared. So x times x. So let us now find what are the factors of 6. Once we add, we'll get negative 5. And in this case, that is negative 2 and negative 3. Negative 2 times negative 3, we will get positive 6 by multiplying. Negative 2 plus negative 3, we will get negative 5 by adding. Right? So therefore, we have now minus 2 and minus 3. So x minus 2 and x plus 3. And x minus 3, I mean. And then, these are the factors of our second example. Let us go with our third example. The value of C is negative 6. And the value of B is positive 5. So let us now factor first our A, or the first term, x squared, that is x times x. So what are the factors of negative 6? that once we add, we will get positive 5. And those are 6 times negative 1. 6 times negative 1 is a negative 6. Okay? By multiplying. And 6 minus 1 is a positive 5 by adding. So therefore, the two factors is positive 6 and minus 1. So these are now the two factors of the given expression. Let us try the third example, or the fourth example I mean. We have here a negative 6 value of C and a negative 5 value of B. So let's factor out first the first term, x times x. So what are the two values or two factors of negative 6 that once we add, we will get a negative 5? And in this case, we have negative 6 and a positive 1. That once we multiply, we'll obtain negative 6. And once we add, we'll obtain a negative 5 for the b value. So therefore, we have now minus 6 and plus 1. And these are the factors of our fourth expression. Now, I will give you a hint. If your letter C has a positive sign, then your factors should have the same sign, given that it is the sign of your negative or it is the sign of your middle term, right? If your letter C is a negative, then observe that we have different signs. And those are some of the some guides that can help you how are you going to check if your factors are correct. Let us try more examples. We have here x squared plus x minus 12. Take note to know the values of your a, b, and c. The value of a here on our first expression is 1, the b value is 1, and c value is negative 12. Again, this is for us to know the c value or the factors of the c value for us to obtain the middle term, which is b. So let us now find the factors of negative 12 to obtain positive 1. Once we add, the factors of negative 12 is 4 and negative 3 that we can obtain positive 1 by adding. So therefore, the two factors of the expression first is to factor the first term x squared, that is x times x, and then we will now write positive 4 and a negative 3, plus 4 and then negative 3. So we have x plus 4, x minus 3 as the factors of the given expression. Second example, we have here negative 14 as the value of c and a negative 5 as the value of b. So what are the factors of negative 14? That when we add, we will get negative 5. And those are negative 7 and a positive 2. So with this, we can now have our two factors. Factor first the first term of the given trinomial, x times x. And then we can now write negative 7 and then positive 2. So the two factors are x minus 7 and then x plus 2. Third one, We have here a b value of negative 9 and a c value of a positive 20. So let us find the factors of positive 20. Once we add, we will get negative 9. And those are negative 5 and a negative 4. Negative 5 times negative 4 is a positive 20, and negative 5 minus 4 is a negative 9. So we can now have the two factors. Factor first, the first term of the trinomial, which is x squared, x times x, and then right now, the two factors that we have, x minus 5 times x minus 4. And the last one is, letter C value is positive 15. And letter B value is a positive 8. So what are the two factors of 15? That once we add, we will get 8. And that is positive 5 and a positive 3. So therefore, we can now have the two factors, x times x for the first term of the trinomial, and then plus 5 on the other side is plus 3. So x plus 5 times x plus 3. And there are some expressions that we have two variables, just like this one, m squared minus 10mn plus 21n squared. So what are we going to do with this is to factor out the two variables. First is to factor out the first term m, which is m times n. And then factor out the second variable, which is n squared, which is n times n. And after that, we can now go with what we are doing with the letter C value, which is positive 21, and the letter B value, which is negative 10. So what are the factors of positive 21 that once we add, we will get negative 10? And those are negative 7 times negative 3. So therefore, we have now here minus 7 and then minus 3. So these are now the two factors. M minus 7n times m minus 3n. Let us check this other example. So the first thing that we will do is to factor out the first term, g squared, which is g times g, and h squared, which is h times h. So we will now go with the, we will now go with the factors of negative 30 that once we add, we'll get negative 1. And those are negative 6 times positive 5. All right. So we'll now write here minus 6 and then plus 5. So these are now the two factors. G minus 6h times g plus 5h. There are some trinomials where your a is greater than 1. So how are we going to factor out general trinomials where a is greater than 1? So let us observe on our first expression, we have 3x squared minus 2x minus 5 where the value of a is 3. So the first thing that we will do with this is to multiply the value of your a to the value of your c. And that will give us x squared minus 2x minus 15. We will take it back soon on the process, the value of a. So this new expression is what we're going to factor out. So what are the factors of negative 15 that once we add, we will obtain negative 2? Those are negative 5 and a positive 3. So there, we have now two factors of the new expression, x times x and my negative 5 plus 3. So in this case, we will now take back the value of a, which is 3, by dividing both by 3. Since the first factor, x minus 5 thirds, cannot be simplified, then use your denominator as the numerical coefficient of the uh, variable x. So that will give us 3x minus 5. And on the second factor, since 3 divided by 3 can be simplified as 1, so therefore we have x plus 1. So these are now the two factors. Another example, 2n squared plus 3n minus 9. So let us use first the value of a be multiplied to the value of c. And that will give us now a new expression of n squared plus 3n minus 18. So this new expression is what we're going to factor first. So what are the factors of negative 18? That will lead us to a positive 3. So we have here negatives or positive 6 times negative 3. That once we multiply, that is negative 18. Once we add, that is positive 3. So we have now these two factors. We have n times n plus 6 minus 3. We will now take back the letter A value that we multiplied first to letter C, and that is 2, divided by 2. Okay, let us simplify. First is n plus 6 over 2. 6 over 2 can be simplified as 3. So we have n plus 3. Second factor, 3 minus n over 2. 3 divided by 2 cannot be simplified. So therefore, we will use the denominator 2 as the numerical coefficient of the n variable. So we have now 2n minus 3. So these are now the two factors. Now, let us try these examples where we have these two variables. First, 2v squared plus 11bw plus 5w squared. So, again, use first the value of a by multiplying it to the c value. So, we have now this new expression, v squared plus 11vw plus 10w squared. So the first thing that we will do is to factor out our variables. V squared is b times b. W squared is w times w. So we will now go with the value of c, which is 10, and the value of b, which is 11. They are both positive. So what are the values of 10 or factors of 10 that we may obtain positive 11? And those are 10 times 1. They are both positive. So we have now plus 10 and then plus 1. So we do not need to write 1. Or on the first, we need to write 1 as we are going to take back the value of a of 2. So let us now simplify. 10 divided by 2 can be simplified as 5. So b plus 5w. 1 divided by 2 cannot be simplified as we were going to use the denominator 2 as the numerical coefficient of the first variable v. So we have now 2v plus w. So these are now the two factors. Another example, 4c squared minus 15cd minus 25d squared. So first, use the a value be multiplied to the c value. And that will give us the new expression of c squared minus 15 CD minus 100 D squared. So let us first factor the variables. C squared is C times C. D squared is D times D. And then we need to find now the two numbers. Negative 100 for the C value and a negative 15 for the B value. What are the two factors of negative 100 that once we add, we will get negative 15? And those are negative 20 times positive 5. Okay? So we have now minus 20 and plus 5. So we will now take back the value of C, or the value of A, I mean, which is 4, by dividing both sides by 4. So by simplifying, 20 over 4 can be simplified as 5. So C minus 5D. 5 divided by 4 cannot be simplified, so we will use 4 as the denominator of, as the numerical coefficient of the variable C, which is 4C plus 5D. So these are now the two factors. So I have this math challenge for you guys. Find the factors of 5x squared, y squared, minus 19xyz plus 12z squared. If you know the answer, guys, just comment down below. And do not forget to like and subscribe my channel for more of my videos. Thank you for watching.